We are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And we are about to start recording in just a moment. But just to give a little bit of a detail, we have Mr. You know what? I'll let you do the introduction, sir, to your amazing self.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jake Montiel.
And plus, I didn't know how to pronounce that last name, so I was just like, I gotta hear it first.
Montiel. It's
Montiel.
it's Spanish, or a lot of French people have it too. Comes from the Pyrenees Mountains in Spain. Basque.
I've never heard it. Son of a bitch.
Of the mountain.
So we are going live in. Hello, everybody. It's Taylor Toxin, and I have this handsome gentleman here with me today. We have Blake Montiel.
Jake.
Did I say, what did I say? Blake?
Blake.
Son of a gun. My apologies. See, that's what happens when you smoke weed before.
Not the worst one. Not the worst
podcast.
one.
It's not a terrible name,
one,
right?
Yeah.
It's not like Keith.
Not the worst. Yeah. Exactly.
Family Guy reference.
Keith.
Love that shit.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to get into this, and I'm actually really excited because of the fact that I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at a show. I haven't heard your music except for the 4 songs that I found on Apple Music. And the fact that you work at the best music shop, Candyman. Shout out to you, much love. So give us a little bit of a detailed tour of what you're about. What kind of music are you into? What are you doing? What projects?
Well, I've been playing guitar in Santa Fe for, I guess about the last 10 or 8 years. I started playing music with my dad, who's a musician, and he's been playing bars and clubs and restaurants and stuff all over this town for years, and long before I was around. And my dad, Mike Montiel, and so I started playing with him when I was probably around 12 or 13 years old. And I played with a bunch of groups doing bars and cover gigs. Hit me with some of that, man.
Yeah, of course.
And I play guitar, I play bass. I mostly play bass, but lately in the last year or so, I've been playing a lot of guitar. I'm in 2 groups. One is Free Range Buddhas with Francesca, Josette, and Justin Pusilla, and Matt McClinton, who are all local musicians, and Ron Crowder from Albuquerque.
Excuse me.
And no worries. We're doing original music. We're recording in Frogville. We're trying to play around. We're really just doing whatever we can, having a good time doing it.
So where's Frogville?
Frogville Studios is up on it's up on the hill, like west of town, kind of like off of Calle Nopal, as if you're going like to the landfill or something out that way.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, and it's a large renovated house on this big hill overlooking all of Santa Fe, and it's my favorite of all the studios in town. I've recorded at a few of the good ones, but Frogville is really cool just because of the vibes. It's like super vibey place. It's very it's got all kinds of Grateful Dead memorabilia all over the place, and psychedelic painting, and the big tracking room is, it's lit, it's nice soft carpets. You can have a whole band like crash there. They have enough space to sleep like 8, 10, 12 people or something like that.
That's dope.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's a cool spot, and there's good people. Jason Reed is the main engineer. He's been recording us for the last year or so, and I've actually been recording there for a few years with various groups.
Gnarly.
And yeah, it's a cool spot. I like it a lot. It's just very easygoing, allows you to do the thing with no pressure,
And so with both of the bands that you're playing guitar with and doing vocals, the Sound Brothers?
The other one is Brother Sound, yeah.
Brothers Sound,
Brother
my
Sound.
apologies. And the Free Range Buddhas, which
Yeah.
I only found 3 songs on Apple, unfortunately. I want to find more. Where can I find more?
Well, we have one EP out on Apple Music, and then we're working on our first full-length record. We've got 1 single out right now. We're going to be putting out another single pretty soon, the next month or so.
Dope.
And then we should have the full-length record. It's going to be, about 45, 50 minutes of music. That should be in the next month or so.
Sick. Okay.
So you can find that on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to music.
Check it out. And so, what about the first piece of music that you were into? What initially got you started? I mean, I know with your dad, but do you remember what song it was that you're like, yo,
yeah,
I want to play it? You know what
kind
I mean?
of, yeah. You know, it's like I was into music, and you know, like growing up around it, my dad would always be having rehearsals and stuff. So it was just kind of like in my consciousness from a young age. But I remember the first time I really thought like, oh shit, I want to do that. You know, like that is like the feeling. You know, was God, I must have been like 7 or 8 years old, maybe like second grade. And I walked into my living room, and my folks were cooking dinner, just going about their business, but Woodstock was on the TV. They weren't even really watching it, but the movie Woodstock was on TV, and it was Santana playing Soul Sacrifice. And it was like, I remember thinking like, I'm like, what's making these people feel this way? Like, what could possibly make you feel this way? Like the looks on their faces and the way people were dancing and the way people... I was like, I want some of that, whatever is making people feel this way.
I want to be a part of that.
Exactly,
right
yeah. So from that moment on, I kind of got into music, and I had several more mind-expanding moments throughout, growing up. All classic rock music, the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and all that was, pretty big in my consciousness. But my dad listened to and played a lot of like country music and classic, old school, like twangy Telecaster music, like Merle Haggard and Buck Owens and that kind of stuff. So I had that kind of vibe in my ear too.
Got you.
And I don't know, it just kind of evolved out from there. I went through every phase you can think of. I was like really into metal when I was pretty young, and I was into like metalcore and like kind of more modern stuff. And then I got into like stoner and doom as I got into high school. I got really into Black Sabbath and Sleep and Electric Wizard and this kind of stuff.
Ooh, Electric Wizard. It's a good one.
Yeah, all that Bong Ripper, High on Fire, whatever, all that stuff.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
Just want to add that in there because I'm still one of the new metal guys. If someone puts some old school stuff, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say it'll change it.
Totally.
I'm probably gonna headbang to it. Like, this is tight. It's just not the music that I would download into my phone.
Yeah, totally.
I mean? So
it's kind of its own little secluded thing too. The people who are into doom and stoner are like, that's what they're into. It's like a cult.
We're a fucking cult.
Yeah, but I don't know. My whole life has been bouncing from one cult to another. It's like I remember at a certain point in high school, I'd been through a lot of music. I was into like ska and reggae and punk. Like it started with punk really, and I started with like pop punk, Green Day, and whatever, every music that like every kind of like 10-year-old kid listens to in the early 2000s. And then I slowly moved backward. I was like, what are these guys listening to? And I found, I got into like Operation Ivy and, California bands, and then like New York bands and Washington, D.C., Bad Brains and stuff like hardcore punk from the 80s and then ska punk.
Damn.
And it was
it's a list.
Yeah, it's just like, whenever I find like a thread, I just try to follow it all the way back. And, at a certain point, I don't know, I listened to every kind of music I could. I was just like, as a young guy, you're just so hungry for everything, you'll just take whatever you can find and devour it as fast as you can and like move on to the next thing, But one thing that always eluded me and kind of weirded me out, like from the time I was a kid, and I had this marginal like awareness of it, but...
You mind if I move this
a
little bit?
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit more.
One thing that like always kind of I had this marginal awareness, like this far off thing in my consciousness, this awareness of the Grateful Dead. And I always thought like every time I heard it, it didn't even sound like music really, or it sounded terrible. It just sounded totally appalling and off-putting, and I would be like, what is happening here? I remember we had Sirius Radio, and there was a whole channel just for the Grateful Dead, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what the hell is this weird music? Everything, all their guitars are out of tune. It sounds like there's like 7 dudes playing over it, like playing different things all at once. It's like, what is happening? And at a certain point in high school, I guess I decided to give it another try. I was like, being like a punk kid, in high school, I was like, the Grateful Dead is like the lamest thing I could possibly think of. And, but I knew a bunch of people who were into it, and I knew it was like always coming up and like kind of prodding at me, poking at me. And so at one point, you know, possibly or with or without chemical assistance, I gave it another listen, and it changed my whole idea of music. It changed my whole concept of like what music could be and what it can do and like how it can affect you as a person. And before that I just listened to music and like I never really like fully experienced it with like my being, my body, my self, my senses.
It's something totally different.
Yeah, and it's it's just that thing of like your mind expands and you feel like the world is not what you thought it was. So I've kind of been on that. I've never really fully recovered from that kick. I listen to all kinds of music, I'm really into like acid rock and like early garage psychedelic music from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Bands like the 13th Floor Elevators and Country Joe and the Fish and Electric Prunes.
Damn.
Stuff like that.
Those are some names I never heard.
Yeah, it's just like the classic early psychedelic LSD music.
That's gnarly. See, I appreciate music, but you're on a different level. You go way deep down into there, and that's huge, especially for someone who's in multiple jobs, multiple gigs. It really makes a good foundation for you.
Yeah,
definitely see that.
I was never able to just like focus on one thing and get stuck in one thing. It was like I was always playing music with people that I would have to like learn some style of music that I'd never heard before. It seemed like every different thing I moved on to was like completely out of my ability at the time. So
got you.
But
that determination.
Yeah,
got you there and you're like,
yeah, totally, and it just expands you and stretches you out. It's like at first you're real rigid. You're like, this is what I like, and this is like the only thing I like. And then pretty soon it's just like I'll listen to anything. Like give me anything, and it's like I'll appreciate how it's made. I'll nerd out into the details of the production and whatever.
I know exactly what you mean. When you fall in love with an album, you get into each little aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's love.
Yeah, totally.
Love. So I want to get back into the whole your aspirations into music. We went into a little rabbit hole there for a second.
Yeah, totally.
No, I appreciate it though, because when people want to be looking you up in the future, they would be able to look at this and find out a couple of things that they wouldn't have known about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
How many interviews have you been in, out of curiosity?
Maybe I've been interviewed with one of my groups before. We might have done some radio thing once or twice, but not many. This is the first podcast I've ever done.
Oh, gnarly. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the first one by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here for your first podcast. Anyways, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, tell us more about the bands that you're in right now. How long have they been together, and where have you guys gone?
Well, Free Range Buddhas has been around for maybe 5 or 6 years now, but it started as just a duo between Francesca, who is our singer, and my girlfriend. Francesca and Matt, our bass player, they met working at Harry's Roadhouse, right down the road from where we're at now, actually.
Hell yeah.
And so they both worked at Harry's restaurant, and they started jamming together and writing songs, and they performed as a duo, and had been recording and working on stuff for a few years before I met them. I think about 5 or 6 years now.
5 or 6 years, wow.
Yeah, and so the current version of the band started after I started working at the Candyman Strings and Things. Myself and Justin Pusilla, who also works there and teaches music there, we joined the band on guitars in 2018 or 19, I think. No, must have been... God, I'm getting ahead of myself. I guess it was 2019 that we decided to do this, but 2020 happened and we weren't able to, feels like a whole year is almost negated.
So the the time span between when Francesca and
Matt, our bass player.
Matt, the bass player,
mm-hmm.
Between the time that they were writing songs, what was the time before that you guys got in? Like when did it become a full band that you guys were?
I think 2019.
When you guys came in?
Yeah, when we became the version of the band that we are now.
And right now you guys have that EP
mm-hmm.
that came out on Apple Music, and then the is that the only thing that you have? with the Buddhas?
Yeah, so far. And then, like I said, we have one more single out right now from our upcoming
Toss
record.
Me Out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
Toss Me Out is the single that we have out right now from the upcoming record. And hopefully we'll have the record out in the next few months.
Okay, cool. What's the end goal with the band? Personally.
Really, it's it's hard to say like a very specific thing. We want to play as much as we can. We want to do festivals. I'd like to tour.
That would be dope.
That's really the main goal. Just put out as many records as we can. Do it until do it because it feels good, and do it as long as it feels good. It's really the only
Gotcha.
Objective. I feel like if I have too much of a goal or too much of a hard objective, or expectation about anything, it kind of takes away something from the music. It becomes less organic. If it's just allowed to happen and unfold in whatever way it's going to, then it seems a lot more enjoyable, magical. Seems like a better time.
No, I can understand it because it's more organic.
Mm-hmm.
That you can appreciate it a little bit more then.
Mm-hmm.
And so what about with the other band that you're part of?
Yeah,
so it is Brother Sound.
Brother Sound,
Okay,
yeah, Brother
go.
Sound, one word. So Brother Sound is actually mostly my project. It's been me and my best buddy Chance have been writing these songs together since maybe 2012 when we met in high school, or 2011 or something like that. We've been writing music together, and the band we have right now is myself and Chance Willie plays keyboard and he writes songs with me, and he's a lyricist. And Justin Pasilla, he plays guitar in Buddhas, he plays drums for Brother Sound.
Oh, gnarly.
And then Julian Gonzalez plays bass. And so we're a 4-piece band. We've gone through a couple different incarnations of Brother Sound too. We used to be a 5-piece band with 2 drummers. Guitar, bass, keys, and 2 drums.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's a good show right there.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. We'd like to get back into that kind of format at some point,
Because it's unique, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's something that definitely draws an eye to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And it adds something that you can't, it's just like certain rhythmic things, and gives you a sound that you can't achieve otherwise.
Where can we find music by Brother Sound?
So Brother Sound is in the process of recording right now too. We're doing it a little more DIY. We've got a ton of music on SoundCloud actually. It's kind of a mess. Like, we've got hundreds of hours of recordings of music. Brother Sound is the kind of band that we do a lot of improvisation, and so no 2 shows, no 2 performances are the same.
Mm-hmm.
We are working on recording like a studio album, but we have a ton of live performances on SoundCloud, and a lot of rehearsal stuff, and because it's always different, and it's kind of nice for us just to have like this record of like how we sound as we evolve out there.
Mm-hmm.
So SoundCloud has recordings going all the way back to, I think, 2018. We really started hitting it hard with the live performances. Actually, long before that, 2014, we started putting up like demos and home studio recordings.
Cool.
But 2018, we started playing out a lot and recording all of the shows, and we'd record them all ourselves and just immediately put them up on SoundCloud. We had kind of a small little limited base of people who really wanted to hear them and stuff, so.
Well, those people grow, you know what I mean?
Totally, yeah.
Definitely in time. When I first heard the songs, I was just nodding my head right away. Francesca, beautiful voice. The entire band has like this presence of like constantly being in your face, you know what I mean? You can't deny the sound. And actually one of the bands that came to mind when I was listening to it, are you familiar with Son of a Gun? Why can't I remember? Emily Davis and the Murder Police.
No,
No?
I'll check them out.
Great sound. When I was listening to your guys' sound, it had a lot of like that folk, but like present pop kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Not really pop, but more in the sense of, you know what, never mind, just go listen to it. It's gorgeous stuff, honestly. I'm definitely going to be having it on repeat. But really quick, we have reached the end of our first part of this podcast, everybody. So I'm going to be back in a moment. We're going to have a glass of water. talk about a little details, and I would definitely want to get into a couple details with this guy about where he's been, where he's planning to be, his aspirations, what other personal little goals, what side projects. So definitely want to get into that. We'll be back soon, everybody. Much love. Bah! And that's part 1, bro.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I was thinking to get into like where you were from in the first part, but it just wheelbarreled.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, what is it? Snowballed?
Snowballed, yeah.
Don't worry, I appreciated it, believe me.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's like I was saying, sometimes when you try to control things too much, it gets
It gets kind of like ruined.
Just gets away from you.
Spell your last name one more time.
Montiel.
Oh, it's not even working. Sorry.
No worries.
Booyah. And then M?
Yeah, Montiel.
Booyah. Okay, cool. Now I just need to set this up really quick. Hello, everybody. Or actually, no, there's no one watching, but that's okay. Because this will receive views in the future. That's okay. Everybody's at work right now, you feel me? It's actually funny. I usually do these at like night, around 9 p.m. So maybe there's just some more people occupied today. Don't matter. Just give me a sec. I'm setting up this other part 2 people. So.
Yeah, I have to go do a rehearsal after this at like 7:30.
Oh, hell yeah, with who?
Another group I'm in called Mask. It's called Mask. It stands for Madrid Antisocial Club.
Madrid Antisocial Club.
With a K. Yeah.
How'd you guys come up with that name?
It was pretty appropriate during the pandemic and stuff.
Facts.
Yeah, I don't know. Half our guys are from Madrid, and we mostly play at like the Mine Shaft and venues in Madrid. And I don't know. It was just all too easy.
Just fell together. The universe was like, "Yo, you should get into this over here." You never know. You ready, my dude?
Yeah.
Like 10 seconds.
Okay.
Alright, part 2, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go. Part 2 with my interview with Mr. Jake Montiel. So, I lied. We actually didn't drink water. We were kind of just talking the whole time. And actually,
more.
And during the break, you were telling me about this third band that you were in.
Yeah.
Give me a recap of that.
Yeah, so I'm actually in another group. I'm on my way to a rehearsal right after this. Thank you, buddy. With the band is called Mask. It's Madrid Antisocial Club, and that band is me and my buddy Tim Arnold and Jesse Gale, and Kyle Goon plays drums, and we have various keyboardists. Sometimes Lance Hires plays keys. We mostly play in Madrid. The band kind of came about just from jamming during the parts of the pandemic when nobody was having gigs or anything like that. We'd go out to like a big open outdoor garden in Madrid and get a bunch of people to hang out and jam, and we were kind of the core group. So we just started playing together more and more and getting some gigs. We're playing at the Mine Shaft in Madrid on Saturday from 3 to 7.
This coming Saturday?
Yeah, this coming Saturday.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, the band's mostly, it's like blues, psychedelic, freak out, kind of, it's very bluesy and, I don't know, it's all over the place.
Well, I need to go because I've been saying to everybody how we need to be going to these concerts because we haven't been able to have any. Can't wait for that. My apologies. So, how many songs do you guys have out?
With Mask, we actually don't have any. Oh no, that's not true. We do have we have one single that we recorded, and we did it at Frogville, and this is kind of the newest band. We just started in the last few months. Really playing seriously. It's like we've done some jams and kind of loose collaboration, you know, in the last year, but really just in this summer have we like started hitting it hard. So that group doesn't have a whole lot going on, but we do have one single out. It's called Good Book. I'm not sure where you can find it. I'll have to.
Good.
I'm not sure if it's on streaming platforms or not.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, at least. It's funny, Madrid and our band, by extension, are kind of like, you know, in their own little universe, in terms of like...
I like that.
Yeah, the scene is like totally separate, you know, it's like...
Until it blows up and you find all these people that really connect with that vibe.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's how every good scene is. It starts small and tiny and secluded with just the original guys, the few people, and then it becomes, you know, a phenomenon.
So if it was up to you, how many projects would you have? Wow, I can't talk. How many projects, if possible, would you have?
I'm trying to focus on original music right now.
Mm-hmm.
There have been points in my life where I played in a lot of groups, and a lot of them were like just kind of gigging cover bands or doing standards or, you know, any number of things. And that's cool, but it gets kind of unfulfilling after a while. It's like I'd rather just have one or two groups that were really hitting it hard, focusing on original music.
Right.
Doing that kind of thing.
I mean, that's huge because of the fact that we love covers. I love covers, but at the same time, it's the new original soul of somebody that, you know, when it comes out, you kind of just fall in love with it.
Yeah, totally. You know, it's like being a musician for a living is kind of like, you know, it's like you end up playing all kinds of whatever you can, you know, like in any context. You know, you'll record with anybody, and that's like what I'm trying to do too. I've recorded, you know, with like a lot of these people who, you know, we have like gigging cover bands or whatnot. They'll write original songs, and then, you know, we'll do like one or two, a little EP here and there. But, you know, like that's what I've been trying to focus on as much as I can, is like studio session stuff, playing on original music of other people's and my own, really.
Mm-hmm. How many pieces of your own do you have? Do you have any that are participating with the bands that you're with right now?
Yeah, well, you know, we all kind of collaborate on the music in both groups. Free Range Buddhas has a lot more material that I wasn't really involved with because we started the band, or we joined the band later, myself and Justin, our guitar player. But we're trying to collaborate on the music as much as we can now, so it kind of feels like a group effort. Brother Sound, we've probably got a few dozen original tunes, and we are working on getting a studio actual, you know, production out. But Brother Sound it's the kind of thing that has always remained more of like a DIY project. Like, I don't want it to be too professional. I don't want it to be too slick or polished or, you know, it's like, I always talk about this thing about like controlled chaos, like being like masters of slop, you know. It's like your shit is sloppy, and it's like it's raggedy, and it's like it doesn't care, but it's so good, you know. It's like it doesn't matter, and it's almost cooler that way than if it were like totally pristine and perfect, you know. I guess the attitude has something to do with like rock and roll music or something, you know. But
no, I can understand that.
That's you know, it's like with Brother Sound, we don't feel like really pushed very hard to like produce a bunch of music and go on tour, you know. It's kind of like, it's mostly a vehicle for us to like explore sonic ideas, like musically, lyrically, and texturally, and, you know, it has a lot to do. It's kind of a psychedelic group. It you know, the premise and the point, the goal that I've always had with music, like that kind of music at least, my original music, and the music that Chance and Justin and Julian and I have been writing together, is to change people's consciousness and to take you through some kind of altered state, or, you know, altered reality in which you feel immersed in the music. You feel like you're participating in the music. You feel like you're
Are you offering a tab with every like album you sell?
That's the goal, yeah.
That would be amazing.
That's the goal. No, we've actually talked about putting spore prints because we have really, really, I don't know if I should be talking about this. But
It's a small town show.
Sure,
Nobody's
yeah.
gonna listen to this.
Yeah,
okay.
it's one of those things. We've actually talked about including spore prints on, like, we'll have like a download card for the album. So we'll sell the CD, the physical CD, but then you'll get a physical download card, or the vinyl or whatever, you know, you'll get a download card so you can download it digitally. And on the download card will be nice big purple spore print on each one of them.
Oh my god. How amazing would that be? So
we wouldn't even be giving out anything, you know, sketchy or anything. Yeah, they could grow it themselves, you know.
Exactly. We're not doing the illegal thing.
Yeah.
If you choose to.
Exactly.
That's up to you.
Exactly.
Do it.
Yeah, Brother Sound. The logo for our band is like this ornate kind of Celtic ornamented mushroom, but it also looks kind of like a UFO. It also looks kind of like the uterus and like the female like reproductive tract and you know, all kinds of things. It looks kind of every line is connecting, and
that's curious.
Yeah.
Holy hell. I'm definitely gonna have to look at it. And then with this and then with the third one, the third group that you have, Mask. There you go. Is that mostly your music, or is it just an evolution of everything?
No, you know, we're doing. I wouldn't really call Mask a cover band. We're more an interpretive band. Like, we take other people's music, but we're doing we're taking a lot of liberties, and we take classic old school blues music and kind of like vintage sounding 50s like rock and roll. You know, it has kind of like real surfy, evil, twangy sounding guitars. And a lot of reverb, lots of, you know, real kind of textural, garagey stuff. It's like we'll take like old blues standards and you know, we do like Tom Waits songs and stuff, but then we'll do them in this kind of like, you know, it's got kind of a punk edge to it. You know, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, you know, it's just kind of like evil cowboy guitars and stuff like that, you know.
And I remember you said that you guys do have at least one song.
Yeah, we do have one original single.
But you have to actually like really dig for it if you want it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out where to find that one. I'm not even sure.
If you do,
I can find it myself. I will.
Or at least tag me.
I will.
So I can definitely.
Totally. Yeah, we recorded it at Frogville too. You know, maybe someday we'll get more motivated by capitalism and try to make it, you know, in the music industry.
No. Until then, you guys definitely need to enjoy it. So, with you personally, being in music, being in different projects and whatnot, what is your end goal? If someone were to ask you, like, you know, when is it that you're gonna be able to just sit down and be like, damn, I made it?
You know, that answer seems to change with every year that goes by.
Naturally, yeah.
You know.
By the way, I love the jeans. I've been holding that comment for a minute.
Thanks, man. This is an accident, actually. I bleached a bunch of white shit, you know. And these were in the bottom, and it just came out this way. It's pretty cool.
Oh man, that is sick. Anyways, my apologies. Continue.
No worries. Let me see. My goal in life, in music.
It's a classic question.
Yeah, it's you know, really, I guess at this point in my life, my current state, I would just want to enjoy my life making music. I want to be content, like, and I want to be able to make music that feels satisfying to me. And really, if I'm able to do that, like, everything else is extraneous. You know, I don't really need recognition for it. I don't really need compensation for it. I don't need, at least I don't want to need these things, you know? It's like, right. I have this desire to not need these things. And I guess that's the direction I'm headed in, you know?
Okay.
As long as I'm able to make good music that, like, feeds my soul personally and, like, at least I have this thing about, like, my standards are so high that I can almost never satisfy myself. But as long as I can keep trying and get close, you know, I'll be pretty cool with that. As long as I'm not, like, dying, dead, suffering, you know, perceiving that I'm suffering.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, you know, like, then I'll be cool, you know. It's like, I just want to keep making music with my friends. That's really what it's about.
There you go.
I want to travel, I want to see the world, and, you know, like, that'll be cool, but...
Do you plan on moving anywhere out of New Mexico?
You know, I've spent time in California, Illinois. I'd like to go to Oregon. I just because of the landscape and the beauty and the nature, and the culture. That. You know, it's like every time I visited the Pacific Northwest, it's just like a fairyland. It's like a magical place. You know, that it's like, I can't believe this is real. I can't believe people live here. So I'd like to move up there at some point. The scene seems pretty cool. There's a lot of college towns, a lot of music.
The topic that I keep talking about that we never get to. Where are you from?
Where am I from?
Yeah. Let's get into that. Details.
I am a local Santa Fean.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's like I've been here my whole life.
And I've never met you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, you know, my dad's family and his family have been here. My dad's family came from California, I guess. I do have a lot of family in Southern California and, you know, in Los Angeles area. But we've pretty much been here. My dad lived in a house on Canyon Road when he was a little kid. They paid like $60 a month for rent. And
cool.
So, yeah, I'm pretty deeply ingrained here. I went to Santa Fe High School. I went to New Mexico School for the Arts when it first opened.
Hell yeah.
Did classical guitar there. It was cool. There was only like 60 kids versus like 2,500 at Santa Fe High, so that was 60. Interesting. Yeah.
That's an insane number, but very interesting. 60, God. I think I had 12 in mine, but that was just middle school, whatever.
Yeah.
I wish I did go to that school, but unfortunately
it was a cool school, but it wasn't together when I first went there. Like when I first went there, it was the second year they had been open, and you know, there was just all the logistics. The school wasn't put together at all. Like there was huge amounts of days where like our teachers couldn't even be there. You know, so it was like 2 or 3 days out of the week, I would have like English class and then free period until the end of the day. And I was like a freshman or a sophomore. It was really weird. So,
I mean,
it was cool, but I got into a lot of trouble. And, you know, we grew pot plants in the front yard.
Oh my God.
Grass and all kinds of stuff.
Freedom right there.
It was a cool school. Yeah, it definitely influenced me at that time.
Shit. I didn't go because I just didn't want to be paying bills until I was like 50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't have to pay any bills. It was a charter school. You just had to audition.
Oh, that's right. I did audition.
You just have to audition, and if you audition, you get in.
I guess I wasn't good enough. You were. Fuck you.
I had to try twice, actually.
Huh?
I had to try twice. They didn't like me the first time, and I tried again second time.
You had an attitude the first time.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this kid. He's got so much.
I had a worse attitude the second time around as it went on.
Like, you want to see something? You want?
I got kicked out of almost every high school in Santa Fe. Santa Fe High, NMSA, Capital. I ended up getting my GED midway through junior year, and I went to a community college. And
when did you go to Capital?
What year was that? It's all a little hazy.
Okay, you know what?
2014? 2013 or 14? I think 13. I would have graduated. I'm 24 right now. I'm going to be 25 next month. So I would have graduated in 2015, I think.
Got you. Okay.
And so I think it was, it's hard to say, man. It was either 13 or 14 that I was at Capital.
Because I'm trying to remember, because I graduated in 13.
I mostly ditched while I was at Capital, too.
Yeah, because you got kicked out of there, of course.
What's funny is that while I was going there, I think my girlfriend Francesca's mom was actually working at the school. I just didn't know her yet. And
what's her name?
Her mom is named Tinka. And she was like I think she was a security guard or she was pretty.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Son of a gun. That's so curious.
It's a small town, but apparently there's a lot of, misconnections. A lot of people don't know each other.
It's crazy. Honestly, my how do I say it? A lot of the people that I know, we just met and find out that we've went to different schools together. We went to different concerts. You know, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, of course.
How the fuck are you gonna meet that person out of X amount of people? But no, it's crazy how many times you can actually cross paths before you realize, like, oh shit, what's up? stranger. Anyways.
Totally.
So
Totally.
you've been in Santa Fe your whole life, but I think I already asked you. Are you planning? Would you plan to move anywhere else? Somewhere maybe close like Colorado, Texas.
Yeah, I've thought about Colorado. Colorado's getting a little bit, unfeasible. It seems like just crowded and overpriced or expensive.
Yes.
I guess everywhere seems doomed for that. Every cool place seems doomed to that same fate. I was just talking about Oregon and maybe Portland. I wouldn't really want to be in the big city. I like I really liked Corvallis and I guess Eugene. Eugene was a little bit.
Eugene.
Eugene, Oregon is a place
gotcha.
in southwest Oregon, I think. And it's cool because I have a real attraction to that place because of all my love of hippie culture and and the 60s psychedelic thing, and everybody from that era from California moved up there. And so there's a real huge Grateful Dead and jam band and hippie and obviously all the weed and weed has been legal in Oregon since 1972. They decriminalized it in 1972 in the state of Oregon. So I think there's more cannabis in the state of Oregon than probably anywhere else on Earth. I mean, they're producing billions of pounds up there. It's ridiculous.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're doing the Lord's work. Yeah.
Well, it really just comes down to I really hope that you continue doing that, and if your music specifically. I know we were just talking about moving somewhere. We're not talking about moving. See, I'm still high. That's why I don't smoke.
Cannabis is a gift, dude. Cannabis is a gift. But
so really quick before we get off, because we're reaching the end of the second part. That concert this Saturday the 15th.
The 14th, yeah. So, okay, can I just take a moment to plug a few things I got going on?
Yeah, no, please.
So today is Thursday, the 12th?
Yes, the 12th.
Today is Thursday.
2021.
Today is Thursday the 12th. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Great day. My band Free Range Buddhas is playing at Ancora Bakery and Cafe in Albuquerque. So we're playing at 7. Music starts at 5. There's 2 other killer acts. That's going to be really cool. So we're playing tomorrow, Friday the 13th in Albuquerque, if anybody's in Albuquerque. And the Buddhas are also playing on the Santa Fe Plaza on August 30th. So come out, see that. That'll be Monday, August 30th. That's there's a Frogville showcase, and there's going to be a bunch of great acts, all the people who recorded Frogville.
Dope.
And yeah, it's going to be cool. We're doing I think a half hour, 45-minute set, so it's going to be great.
Everyone gets a half-hour set.
I'm not totally sure how it's divided. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're doing a pretty, a solid set.
Okay.
I think there might be, a house band deal where some other people do a few songs, 15 or 20 minutes or something.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it's going to be cool. It's Monday, August 30th.
August 30th.
Yeah.
Do you know how many bands are going to be there? Is that information allowed to be known?
At least, there's us and there's The Long Gone. The Long Gone is another great local band who our bassist Matt McClinton plays in. They're going to be playing a set as well on August 30th. And I'm not sure how many other acts, it's
okay.
It's all the logistics and planning of that event are beyond me, I guess.
Hell yeah. Well, it's something to definitely look forward to, especially because we have so much of a head notice. Okay? No excuses, people. Come check this guy out. Look at him jam. Anything else you want to get out there before we get off, my friend?
No, I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah?
Just remember that everything is love, and to love yourself and love your friends and love each other, and that's pretty much my message.
The biggest stuff. Yeah. We're high, so we're some good stuff is gonna come out of us.
Hopefully.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for
My
being
pleasure.
here. And hopefully you guys will definitely look at his stuff in the future. Again, Jake Montiel, thank you for being here, my dude. And I will see y'all next week. I will be live at 9 p.m. on Thursday, and I will not say his name just yet. Surprise.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Ugh. I forgot his name! Fuck!
Forgot his name?
That's why I didn't mention it, because I forgot his name. I'm sorry. JJ Jetski. JJ fucking Jet Ski. That's who I'm seeing on Saturday. Thursday. Week from today. Love you guys. Bye.